Oh wow, there we go. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What's up, everybody, and welcome to Elevation 101. I'm your host, Silverback Benny. Um, yeah, real informal, but I'm really just trying to check my audio and video settings before I do actually start the channel up. Basically, with this post, I just wanted to give you an introduction of who I am, Elevation 101 is, and also my aims, goals, and intentions for setting up the channel and setting up my live stream. So just starting off, man, give you a basic definition of elevation. I'm not speaking of the height of which something is being elevated, but I'm referring to the act or instance of elevating. I'm speaking coming from the mental aspect of everything. I'm also speaking of the quality or state of being elevated. Um, a lot of us live in our lower selves, including me. I have a lot of time, um, but I think it's on us to really actively seek to be the best person that we can. My mother used to tell me that all the time. She used to always tell me to put your best foot forward. Um, a lot of times I do, a lot of times I don't. So for this channel, I want to make it I want to make it authentic. I want to put my best foot forward, but I also want to be who I am. I don't want to take away from that. That's what make us individuals. Um, that's what gives us our value. It's just you being who you are. Um, so 101 is basically um, is just a basic skills level of education. Throughout academia, that's 101 is the basic level, and that's what I want to do. I want to talk and speak from a basic level perspective and show that it takes whatever it is you're doing, how you're doing, it takes steps to elevate. And we all can do it. It's like you just have to focus on wanting to do it. So along with the channel, what I do want to do is not do want to do, but what I want to do is provide content gives that originates from facts, data, and statistics. Um, a lot of times now in our culture now, we live in hyperbole, or we live in what is said on social media and take it um, on its face without doing any type of research. You don't really have to do research to find facts. Everybody has a computer. Um, you can look things up to see if it's factual or not, but a lot of times we gotten away from that. So that's why I want to start the channel, is to come from an aspect of facts, data, and statistics. So and just use those facts, data, and statistics to really kind of elevate my thinking. Um, we all need a compass. And so, like, facts, data, and statistics is like the compass for a man that gives us a direction. You know what I'm saying? So, that's where I want to come from. Number two, I'm also wanting to come from a black male perspective. I am a black male in this country. We all live different, but one thing can be said is that all black men in America shared the experience of being a black man in America. And it's important for us to come out and speak, not only just in rap lyrics to make some money, or just on a podcast talking about some bullshit. Like, we have to come and really show what our value is. So I put an emphasis on being a black male, because it's just certain challenges that we go through. Is a unique experience for us in this country alone. And but my third aim and goal for Elevation 101 is to engage in constructive dialogue. a lot of times we get caught up in speaking at each other instead of to each other. A lot of times we get caught up in thinking that our logic and reason is right, you know, when, you know, all opinions are valid. Everyone, even the ones that you don't agree with, even the ones that don't sit well with you, you know, um, even the ones that you love, even the ones that you hate, everything is valid, you know. Um, so it's important for me, being a black man who, you know, worked on educating myself, to be able to speak in an educated manner, but also authentically show exactly who I am. Just to give you a little backstory on me, I am a part of the 28.5% of black males in America that will go through the penal system at some point in their life. Long story short, I got convicted of a drug conspiracy at the age of 23. Spent the next 12 years in federal prison, and it's two things that I learned from being in federal prison. Uh, Not learned, but took away from being in federal prison. One is that I wanted to further my education. I knew that wherever I went in life, it was going to be through the use of education. My education was going to take me there. That was one. Number two, um, I figured that, you know, I told myself I'm not ever coming back to prison again. Um, at prison, I ain't like prison. Like, you know, we as black men in this country, how we raise is kind of like the things that we go through in adolescence all the way up to becoming a man prepares us to go to prison. You understand what I'm saying? So when I went to prison, I was already prepared for it. I knew exactly what the rules of engagement were. I just didn't like the rules of engagement. I No, I don't like being told what to do. I don't like eating with 1,000 other men at the same time. I love women. You know what I'm saying? So that was the primary thing about prison with me. You know, I wasn't around no women. So, you know, that was my thing. And once I got out, I went to school, and I focused on my education. I started off in community college, ended up getting an associate's degree in entrepreneurship, and went on to further my education, changed my major over to media, and I can proudly say that I am also a part of the 14% of black males in this country that have a bachelor's degree. In 2020, I graduated with a BS in bachelor's in science, not like BS like bullshit, but a bachelor's in science in communication and communications and broadcast journalism, which is why, like, me setting up the platform is like, you know, a perfect thing for me, because like this is what I was taught. And not only is what I'm taught, is some of the things that I'm good at. One of the primary things that I'm good at is communicating, articulating my thoughts, getting the message across. Sometimes I say a lot, but it's just the act of me processing the thought. You know, when a lot of times when people say and stuff like that. But I want to go on. I want to show y'all a little video that I made. This was right before my graduation. I made a video, and ironically, I titled the video Elevation 101. And so here we are, like 4 years later, really starting up the channel and calling it Elevation 101. So I just want y'all to check out my little video from way back in the day, this old school Benny. Check me out.
Somebody gotta have a vision.
Yes, sir.
You gotta follow who got the vision. You know what I'm saying? So if you stuck on stupid, I ain't gonna judge you or have no disrespect for you, but I'm
gonna be over here.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna follow you or take heed to your opinion. You gonna have to follow what I'm doing. That way of thinking versus this way of thinking. More people lean toward this way because of the result.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Dang, y'all ain't gonna clap for me? Come on, man. Show a player some love, man. You know, yeah, man. But yeah, the elevation video was just a video that I done graduating from college. Just wanted to put on my suit, walk through the neighborhood. Found a little clip of one of my favorite rappers that I felt like applied to me and added that to my video. So hopefully y'all liked it. But what I want to move on to now is my credibility and how am I credible to be establishing a platform called Elevation 101. My credibility comes from my growth through my experiences. A lot of us is countless brothers out here who went through similar circumstances that I have. I can tell you there's not very many of them that became or done what I've done on the other side of it. So, when I speak to you and talk about elevation, it's because I went from less than to greater than. I went from going to prison to graduating college, and I mean, that shouldn't define who you are as a man. Most importantly, I'm a good father. My kids love me. My oldest daughter, who I didn't have a relationship most of her life because I was in prison most of her growing up, I just had her and my grandson over and her husband over for dinner on Sunday. My baby girl lived with me. I got to wake her up, take her to school every morning. So things and people evolve, and so this is something that I've evolved into, and that's becoming a better man. And I can't tell nobody how to become a better man. Only thing I can do is give an example to follow. And so third is second. I want to go back to my second point. I think I skipped through a point. But the second thing that gives me credibility is me being able to navigate different cultures, different mindsets, and different perceptions. Again, I've been locked up in federal prison. Before that, I was in the neighborhood hustling, all that. I have been in college classrooms with people who were half my age. I have been in bars who were basically back in the blue and, Trump supporters and don't really have too many black people come in the bar, just like one of the dudes told me. But, I've been able to adapt to all of that. And I've been around all those circumstances. And anybody that ran into me after we didn't have a conversation or something and sit down and talk, I can promise you they've come away from our conversation or our talk with a positive perception of who I am. So yeah, that's like something that I'm proud of, because a lot of times people meet people or whatever and they don't really want to meet them again. Fucking asshole. You know what I'm saying? That's not like something that I would want to project. Again, my mother told me I always put my best foot forward. I don't always put it, but I try to actively put it forward. But the third thing that I'm most proud of and what gives me the most credibility is the fact that I never went back to pushing the poison on my people. And the reason I say that is because I come from a region of the country, Appalachia, this whole Appalachian region, which is, or was and is, still is, ground zero for the opioid epidemic. Um, a lot of that started here with doctors just passing out crazy amounts of pills to people, They get people addicted on the pills. Then the government restrict the pills, take the pills away. The people have to end up going and look for heroin. Then it was a heroin epidemic, blase blah. Then they cracked down on the heroin. So now we have a fentanyl epidemic, and it's just a never-ending cycle. From my perspective, is always going to be something new that keeps people's minds subdued. I never wanted to get back into that cycle, So that right there is probably the main thing that I'm most proud of. That's probably the number one thing that I get the most recognition from my people and the people that love me, those in my community, those that know me, is that they respect the fact that I never came back and pushed the poison upon my people. So in conclusion, again, I'm not perfect, and neither of us are. I think it took me so long to really get to streaming because it was always something in the back of my head to make the environment perfect, or to make my wording perfect, or to make my script perfect, and it is only you get to a point where you understand that the perfection lies within who we are as people, who we are as human organisms, this environment we're living in, the trees that are around us, the sun coming up every morning. That's the only perfection. When it comes to our thoughts and aspirations and and our actions and stuff like that, nothing is going to be perfect. It'll never be perfect. Only thing that we can do is provide an example to follow. And so with this channel, this Elevation 101, that's what I want to do, is provide an example to follow. In the proper way. This ain't gonna be no whole bunch of gimmicks, stunts, or none of that. I'm not really with that shit. My language will get foul. It is what it is. I grew up, my grandmother's house was a bootleg when I came home from the hospital being born. So I've been a part of the neighborhood environment, the underground community environment my whole life. I just always wanted to look and search for ways to elevate myself. That's it. I'm not trying to be better than my people, be none of that. Now, I always humble myself. I'm a very humble person. That being said, I also understand that I'm a part of the 28% that has been in federal prison or prison at some point, but I'm also part of the 14% that have a college degree or better. So it's important for us to speak on who we are, speak on our accomplishments. Give flowers when you need be. Give yourself some flowers. Shout out to everybody who got a degree in anything. It don't have to be a bachelor's degree. It could be a CDL certificate or something. Just shout out to everybody who know and understand what it is to complete the task. So, man, my time is up. That was my little 20 minutes real quick. And, I just want to thank y'all for joining me, man. I want to ask y'all to like, share, and subscribe to the Elevation 101 channel. We're going to have a lot more content coming through. One of the things that I want to speak on tomorrow is our presidential debate between Vice President Harris and former President Donald Trump. I want to come on and speak on it from my perspective. This ain't nothing what I heard or none of that. I'm going to give my perspective on it. So I just want to give, just send a shout out to y'all for listening, and man, I hope I want to bring you some good constructive content, and that's it, man. You know, so for Elevation 101, I am Silverback Benny, and I am not a gangster. I am a gentleman. Holla.